Feels like we're in the same spot we were last year with Oscar Piastri, quote unquote, running away with it, just as Kimi Antonelli is now. And be very, very wary because Oscar Piastri didn't finish second; he finished third last year. And after this week, it was so just kind of reminiscent and makes you really, really think how the entire second half of the season could be completely topsy-turvy.
Welcome to the Paddock F1 with Greeny and the cheese. We're caffeinated, we're medicated. It's a podcast by fans for fans. Your dose of F1 news. All the races, all the tracks, and all the drama. Coming up on today's show.
Yes, you definitely covered in the Paddock F1. Greeny and the cheese. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. Hit that subscribe and like button. Give us a comment, thumbs up, whatever. Helps to hear out the channel. But round 11 brings us to the banks of the Danube River. We're back in Budapest, baby. It's the Hungarian Grand Prix, and while you're there, you gotta check out the iconic Parliament building, of course. That is magnificent. Take a cruise down the Danube. Maybe get a little soak in at the thermal baths. We're 12 miles northeast of Budapest. Sits the Hungaroring. 2.72 miles, 14 corners. They come at you thick and fast, man. It is a track of full rhythm. You give it the full beans for 56% of your lap now. I mean, I don't even know anymore with this new battery madness crap.
Beans are changing.
But anyway, things are changing. Hopefully not for too long. Hopefully go back to V8 soon. That'll be great. But anyway, what a race we got there. McLaren's had great start there, but better than the Ferraris. A little strategy, some tire management, a VSC in there. Oscar's gearbox then went to ruin the possibilities of a great day for McLaren. But in the end, though, Lando takes the win, Max second, Kimi Antonelli takes third. We are caffeinated, we are medicated. Greeny, good day, sir.
Good day indeed, and great weekend indeed. Finally got rid of those wildfires and the heat, and we got a nice little weekend here in the Northeast in the U.S., but checking out the Hungarian GP. Man, it was like a free-for-all today. You didn't know who was going to win this weekend. You couldn't really believe your eyes that McLaren back at it again in the Hungaroring for the third straight season. So kicking ass and taking names, Papaya style. And so you got to love that. If you're a McLaren fan, of course, seeing a little life in them. So we'll see what happens if that carries over into the fall after the winter break. That would be fantastic.
Summer break.
Fantastic. Or I'm sorry, the summer break. Fantastic. It's getting too excited for winter. I guess if you're Oscar Piastri, it is the winter break. But nonetheless, definitely a twist in the season. Ferrari, I'm sure we'll get to a lot of that later, did not run it up the way you thought they might. Kimi Antonelli and Mercedes and George Russell.
If somebody cannot wait to get to the break, it is that guy right there. I mean, that was a disaster start. I mean, that was an absolute train wreck mess. Luckily, he was back on it fast to get it back started again. But at that point, I mean, by the time they got to the first corner, he's dead last. So it was just a disaster, absolute disaster.
The news indeed is Lando Norris taking his first win of the year, fifth different driver to win a race this season, third different constructor to take home a race. And it is on, depending on what this summer break looks like coming out. Again, we can see him. I think any one of the four teams can make a push here for sure in the constructors. Bring up the standings right now. I mean, crazier things have happened as far as championships
Ferrari's
go.
what, like 70, 72 points behind or something
72
like
points
that?
behind me. Obviously, McLaren and Red Bull are. I'm sorry, but
which is not bad.
yeah, McLaren and Red Bull are way behind them. But you know, 72 points is not what we've seen, honestly, going into summer break over the past. It's been a long time since it's been that close, or not often is it that close. We definitely had some seasons where it's been tight there, but also seeing, you know, Isaac Hadjar back at it again and finishing in the top 6 there. You know, not falling for that curse of the second Red Bull once again. Max Verstappen, jeez, he's on podium. Still hasn't won a race this season, but staying massively competitive. And yeah, Ferrari choking.
There's a lot to unpack.
But
I mean,
a lot to unpack.
McLaren again brought big, brought upgrades, and the last few years when McLaren has brought an upgrade, it's been pretty spot on. So we'll see if it continues. I mean, it also seems to be that, you know, certain tracks are suiting certain teams better than other tracks, and depending on the power levels and such. I mean, it's very interesting on how from track to track you know, this team might be good this week, but next week they're going to be, you know, complete rubbish. I mean, Max keeps saying the car is absolute trash, but yet he keeps putting it on podiums. So, I mean, but that is also, you know, Max Verstappen being, you know, probably the best driver still on the planet, taking a car that's duff and still puts it in the points. I mean, what did he do that final stint in? Like 28 laps or something on the softs? I mean, that was ridiculous. I didn't think that was definitely not gonna happen. I mean, tough break for Kimi Antonelli too. If he pits 3 laps later on that last stop and he hits the virtual safety car, he probably finishes second ahead of Max because of the pace that he had there at the end of the race. I mean, there's somebody that just keeps putting things in. That's probably somebody who doesn't want the summer break to come right now, is Kimi Antonelli, because for where he is right now, you definitely probably don't want to hit the brakes for a month, especially being, you know, a young driver and you come back after that break and then you're maybe not as focused or something going into that second half. We've seen it happen before with young drivers. But in the end, it's Lando Norris, McLaren, you know, first pole, first win of the season. It's huge. It's good for just in general that we're going to have, you know, if we have another team that's fighting for wins here. I mean, the gap has definitely closed a lot to Mercedes. A lot from everybody else. I'm sure, you know,
it's a race.
Mercedes
It's a race.
I'm sure Mercedes, you know, has like upgrades coming that are, you know, we'll see what things go with that, but it's a race. It wasn't the complete, absolute runaway that we saw after the first few races, where it looked like it was just going to be a complete, you know, Mercedes domination for the season. So that's good to see. At least it keeps that excitement going. And the point totals for both the drivers and the constructors going into the summer break is not astronomical. It's still a fight. There's still a fight.
Yeah, it's absolutely still a fight. It's still a race. And listen, if Mercedes comes out and wins, you know, finishes 1, 2, 3 of the first 4 races, yeah, it's over. But is there something to talk about at least going in? For sure. Is Ferrari have a shot? For sure. If they drive like they did today, going forward, do they have a shot? Probably not. Because today was no good. No bueno, indeed. But we'll get to that in a moment. And someone who dominated this track in Lewis Hamilton making a boneheaded mistake. But we'll get to that soon. But yeah, it's on. Keeping George back. Lewis still getting points, finishing 5th officially. And
I mean, like Charles, Ferrari had told Charles there to just, back it off a little bit. I know it's probably only a couple points, but what if it comes down late in the year and those points would have been something? I mean, it's not. I mean, it wouldn't have really mattered to Charles's, championship right now, but for Lewis, who's in second, trailing Antonelli by, 50 points, 48 points is better than 50 points going in the break. So is that something that
every point counts? Every point counts.
I mean, did Ferrari screw the pooch there too by not just telling Charles to back it off a little bit? I mean, it was a stupid thing to speeding in the pit lane. I mean, you're not getting away with that nowadays. Period. If that comes up, you're pretty much nailed. I mean,
it's usually because of frustration. Needed. It's usually based on frustration, whether speeding in the pit lane.
So I mean, but is that something that could Ferrari regret down the road that they didn't just tell Charles to back it off a little bit?
Could have, should have, would have. Listen.
What is the Ferrari pit wall? So what else is new? That can drive you crazy, man.
Every time you think they're getting a step ahead, every time you put your money down, and we'll get to that in a little bit, on those ponies, they always slap you right in the face. But we'll get back to that.
Every time you think you're out, they pull you back in, and they disappoint you. And then
every time. Every time. But they're still in second, and Constructors is reachable for the first time in a very, very, very long time. It was the last time they went, 2006?
I don't even know anymore. It's
been
quite a many moon.
All right. Anyway, it's time to strap my helmet on, jump in the car myself, take a lap around the track. 3 sectors, 3 questions. It is Quizmaster's Cockpit. Jeez. I'm sure you got a list of questions. I did some homework. I wrote some things down. But let's see if that even matters. Even matters.
He took notes.
Well, yeah.
Ooh.
I got all kinds of notes. Did some homework.
What? Are you ready, sir?
I am prepared as I can be.
All right, question number 1 then. Here we go. Who won the first Hungarian Grand Prix?
God, I know this. I didn't write this one down either. Was it Nelson Piquet?
That is correct.
No, I actually didn't write that down. So I was too arrogant. You're like, I know that. And then...
Well, you got it. So
I panicked for a moment there.
At least there's no slap coming your way.
At least there's no slap this week.
At least you don't have to slap yourself live on camera. That's all I gotta say. I'm waiting for that day. I gotta give you a bamboozle at some point, so you have to actually slap yourself. That'll
get the baby powder out. All right, go
slap
ahead.
Your own damn self. Here we go. Question number 2. Including today. Which constructor has the most wins at the Hungaroring?
I think it's McLaren.
That is actually correct. That was their 14th win as a constructor at the Hungaroring. So it is kind of like their track. Got 2 for 2. Question number 3. How about their maiden win at a wet, chaotic race in 2006? Winner, Hungarian Grand Prix, 2006. Maiden win of their career.
This was a legendary year, too. I believe it was Jenson Button.
That is correct, sir.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute.
That is a hot lap, my friends.
I think this is my first time on the European leg that I took one down.
I'd have to go back in the book here, but I believe you are correct there.
I think so. It's been probably the third
I
time this
actually had
year.
full
But yeah.
confidence in you, though, because I actually had winners first in my notes.
All right. I'm not
I
sure if I
have
believe you,
confidence.
but okay.
But here we go. We'll go right in the winners.
Let's
Since
go.
you got all three, here we go. Racing Bulls, double top 10, 8th and 10th. Still bringing it. Probably the best of the best in the mid pack right now for damn sure. So, give it to Racing Bulls again. I mean, Lawson is home there. Talk of him possibly not having a ride next year. Somebody else might possibly be coming in there. So, but he just keeps putting the car in the points, and Lindblad having a ridiculous rookie season. We've put them in losers basically weekly. But after bringing 16 upgrades, completely changing the car, Aston Martin, 13th and 14th, got into Q2 for the first time this weekend.
Fernando.
Car looked way freaking better. Have an upgrade coming at the Dutch Grand Prix from Honda for the power plant. So I wouldn't be surprised if within a couple more races down the road that they could be, throwing some points up on the board again. Because I think Newey's got maybe the handle back on it. Because finally bringing all these upgrades, they took half the damn year to bring them, but massive, just finishing where they did. That's huge. So those will be my winners.
Massive. Yeah, I thought we had a steadfast rule here that, you don't get points, you don't get winners. But I do agree with Aston Martin. I did have him on my winners list as well. Listen, Nico Hulkenberg finally putting points on the board. Oh, Nico, it's been so long. A guy who quit racing like 6 years ago to become a farmer in Australia and scoring his first points of the season. So let's go, Nico. And listen, Isaac Hadjar, once again, making that second seat. You guys got to give it to Max Verstappen as well, so I'm going to give it to both Red Bulls. All the Red Bulls. You got four of the top 10 here as Red Bull racing goes. But Isaac Hadjar really proving and showing he's kind of where you would have expected Sergio Perez to have been, right? When Max was, still winning, but Sergio was so far behind. And that's kind of where, you expected him to be. Maybe not second or third or podium every week, but definitely top 6. And once again, I'm going to go back and double down on your Arvid Lindblad. I think 6 straight races in the points. And also, I think 6 straight or 7 straight making it to Q3. So, how back? Double down on that one. Kids.
Well, it'll take us to losers then. Cadillac, I mean, definitely worst team on the grid now after that display by Aston Martin today. So, I mean,
bad.
The brake disaster again with Bottas. I mean, you gotta get your handle on that problem. And then Perez's suspension broke again or something. Just absolutely not good.
Yeah, they're going home at halftime. They're done. They're not even
it's bad.
Yeah, Bottas.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad right now. Oscar Piastri. bad luck just continues. I mean, he's out in front, leading the race. Gets pits. Carlos Sainz rides, smacks into him, and then loses time, and then this gearbox goes. I mean, cannot catch a break right now. Almost like George Russell, but it's just something. It's always something with Oscar right now from the end of the season too last year. So always something. Guy needs a break. I mean, it just ain't coming. So could have had big points, big point haul for McLaren if he could have finished there. So those be my losers.
Go right into my team, and that's Haas. First of all, number one, Esteban Ocon, a guy who's won on this track before, just showing absolutely nothing. Ollie Behrman's taking steps backwards, I feel. He really should be ahead of Ocon most weeks, and once again, he's finishing behind him. It's just an absolute disaster here, and they're getting no press, no love at all, and nor should they. And I'm going to go... Listen, Lewis Hamilton. Can we smack him around anymore? Besides the... Listen, you got to give credit where credit is due, but a guy who's in second in the standings, who's fighting for a spot, we had an opportunity to get ahead of Kimi Antonelli this week. We had an absolute opportunity, not to get ahead of him in the overall standings, but catch up, get some points. It should have been vice versa. It should have been Lewis in second and like Antonelli in fifth or something like that, which would have given him an 8-point, advantage, which would have given him, 60-something point gap going in. I know 72 is workable, but man, he had every opportunity this week to catch up based on his position, based on what Ferrari looked like, and they blew it. You blew it, Lewis Hamilton, and in so many ways. And you mentioned as well the Ferrari pit wall, right there with it. Charles Leclerc, the strategy there, man, they really blew it. That should have been... You don't have too many opportunities to have double podium going into a race, and they had an opportunity this week to put up a double podium, and they totally blew it. Not even one on podium. I lost your mic.
They're years ahead of everybody on Friday. Right years ahead of everybody. Like half a second faster than everybody else on Friday. They didn't think about tire strategy or anything. They threw the softs on because they said, you know what? It's probably going to be a 3-stop race because of the heat. We did it in Spain. It worked. Let's just do it again. So there wasn't like thought about anything with tire wear or anything. I didn't care for the decision because they had to come in earlier. It was just all around shit show.
Yeah, well,
massive opportunity, and you blew it.
If it can't get any worse than that, it does, because somebody's got to get slapped.
I need to slap my goddamn self for that.
I mean, can we give it to Carlos Sainz here? I mean, what are you doing, dude? Getting in the way of somebody, that was a disaster. Running into somebody that's in the top when you're in the toilet. So let's be honest. I mean, Williams is back there almost with Cadillac fighting for worst team on the grid at this point in time right now in the season. So, because they're a mess. That was embarrassing. Get your ass out of the way. Blue flags are waving. Move it out of the way. Get off the powder. Slap your goddamn self.
Maybe he thought that Oscar, was a different week, and he was back there with him, because Oscar's been at the back of the pack more than once this season. He's not right in the front as he did last season all the time. So maybe it was just a mental slip. Obviously, that was just really bad, though. That was real. That deserves a slap. I don't know what the hell you're thinking there, Carlos Sainz. Slap your damn self.
Yes! You know what that sound means? I think that fantasy ride to that fantasy island of Great Philly. Where the beer flows like wine, the wine flows like beer, and that cannabis, oh yes, my friends, that cannabis grows as far as the eyes can see. Look at it out there, green and luscious. Take a little whiff. Whew. And that air smells. Yes. To take a little walk, top of the hill, top. Just like Monica. Are we flashing in or are we checking out?
Not great this week.
Nope.
Not great. We hedged. We hedged, but we both lost. And I knew this morning at around 8:35 Eastern Standard Time, my phone buzzes with your picks, and you took Leclerc to win. You took Lewis for the win. You took the ponies in the trifecta. You went pony madness, and I knew. What did I text you back like immediately? Like immediately, without hesitation.
The harbinger death move right there. That's all that is. It's the
you
harbinger.
You knew what was going to happen the second
you
hit send. The second you press that button. That is some gambling regret instantly. But you manned up. You manned up. You took it like a man, and you lost some cash. You did take the Red Bull, the Racing Bulls for double top 10. So you did plus 120 on that. So you did hedge a little bit. You took back 110 Greenybucks on 200 betting, which you took a 90 Greenybuck dive. I lost 3 out of 4 as well. I was heavy on Kimi Antonelli winning this week, and that did not happen. I was getting a little pumped for the ponies as well, and I had Antonelli and the ponies with Leclerc and Hamilton in the box trifecta. That didn't hit. But I did hit on Red Bull once again, double top 6, once again. And they hit that after Oscar Piastri dives out in lap 55. So I'll take it whatever way I can. That was plus 200 on that, or plus 220 something on that. So P.S. I lost 50 Greenybucks. Bet 200, won 150. You bet 200, won 110. You have 3,892 Greenybucks. I have 3,437 Greenybucks. At one point, your largest lead was 900 Greenybucks.
Yeah.
Today, it sits right at 450, so I cut that right in half. Karate chop it right in half. And that's where it is right now as we go into the summer break. Get your suntan lotion
shit,
on.
huh?
What's that?
I said Bruce Lee in that shit.
Listen, if Kimi won today, it would have been very, very different.
You would have been dancing.
Plus
but
650.
that didn't happen.
But that didn't happen. But it didn't. If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, sir, it would be a Merry Christmas for us all. We got one more segment to close out this first half of the season. Just so everyone knows, next week is episode 200, right in time for summer break. So we're going to have some fun and some reminiscing back. And yeah, for episode 200, big milestone. Make some noise for that one. But we'll get into that next week. But first, the newsiest part of the week, and that is, of course, in the news. In the news. What do you got, Cheese?
We'll start off with some Red Bull news. Red Bull apparently rejected a business consortium's bid of $3 billion to buy Racing Bulls from Red Bull, but they said no. It's a lot of money to say no to. I got to say that. I don't know if they're waiting for a bigger check or if they just not going to happen. But very interesting. It's a lot of schonol.
I think the Racing Bulls' whole model with Red Bull is almost like cheating. Having a minor having a minor league team in there. I don't know how you get away with that. I really think
Zach Brown brings it up a lot.
Should sell the team to someone else, have another constructor in there that is unrelated. Red Bull definitely has an advantage here, being able to do things that other teams can't, which is put a driver in there and being able to kind of swap back and forth as if you have some kind of minor league situation. So yeah, it is. I don't know. I don't like it. I think it should end. I'm right there with Zach Brown and so many others and so many other organizations that feel the same way. You know, they're not alone there. So I think this should be a forced sale. I don't think anyone's going to be crying over the $3 billion that they're going to make for their shareholders. No one's going to complain about the money, but obviously they want the stranglehold and having really, you know, a quarter of the grid as 20% of the grid as their drivers. So I don't know. I don't think it's fair at all. I think you should have sold the team years ago. Racing Bulls wasn't competitive at one point, and now they are much more competitive, as you see once again. Double top 10. I don't understand how you can't see that. How, like, doesn't make any sense.
No, but
It should be a forced sale.
what?
And it's not a bad $3 billion with a B. That's not a bad
Yeah.
payday there. So
No.
that's like an NFL franchise.
Yeah, it's a sports franchise.
Or a European football team. You know, that is a good one too. So that's no joke. That's a big offer. It should almost be forced at this point. And I wouldn't be surprised if by next year they force a sale to someone. But we'll see.
I will say they've been the second team for a freaking long ass time. Let's just say that. In other news, we got a little addition to the calendar coming up here. The Bahrain Grand Prix will be replaced by the Malaysian Grand Prix this year. It'll take place between the Azerbaijan and the Singapore Grand Prix, October 2nd to the 4th, heading back to Sepang International Circuit. First time since 2017. It's been a while since we've raced in Malaysia. It's a good track, though. Should be, although the final back straight there into the front straight with the battery is going to be, that's going to be an interesting combination since they're kind of like back to back, only one corner in between them. So I don't know what that's going to look like with these new cars, though. I'll say that.
Way to find out. It's been a while. It's been several different evolutions of the cars since we've raced there. So,
yeah,
it's been a long time.
No, that is, yeah, it's been a couple iterations for sure. So, I mean, we'll see. But you know, the other iterations they didn't have the battery problem. This thing has. So, I mean, didn't Martin Brundle say this past week or after Spa that it's, you know, we've lost the corners, some of the classic corners at Silverstone and then at Spa because of the battery, you know, taking away the power and the speed aspect and things that we've kind of come accustomed to at those tracks as well. So I kind of certainly agree with them, to be honest.
What else you got?
Well, that's pretty much it. Other than the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix is on the ropes right now, so we'll see what happens with that. And there's a talk that the final races could end up coming back to Europe at some point, to finish up. So we'll see how that goes.
We will see. Only time will tell, sir, as we head into the fall. So much to talk about. You know, my biggest thing in the first half of the season, and I'll give you my thoughts of the first half of the season. It feels like we're in the same spot we were last year with Oscar Piastri, quote unquote, running away with it, just as Kimi Antonelli is now. And, be very, very wary because Oscar Piastri didn't finish second. He finished third last year. And after this week, it was so just kind of reminiscent and makes you really, really think how the entire second half of the season could be completely topsy-turvy. Again, like you just mentioned, adding another race in there to a track that has been untested for a decade. It's really, really, really interesting. We will see what happens. Hold on to your butts for sure, because it is going to be a wild ride. But I would not be surprised or shocked at all if Kimi Antonelli does not win the title this year at all, seeing what happened in previous years. So that's something very, very interesting. Can a teenager actually win a World Drivers' Championship? I guess we're going to wait and see. But after today, with the fifth different driver, and none of those drivers have been Max Verstappen, who can win any single week at any single race at any single time, it's going to be very, very interesting. Your thoughts on the first half of the season, Cheese?
It's been nice seeing the progression of the other teams compared to Mercedes, closing the gap. To be honest, I think Mercedes fumbled it a little bit here in the first half by not being completely running away with it. I mean, the issues on the other side of the garage, across from Kimi Antonelli, seem to be growing. We'll see what happens after the summer break here, but George Russell was supposed to be the driver winning the title, and he is not. I mean, Toto Wolff, I think, came out after the Spa Grand Prix and said, "Can we let the Italian have the microphone, please?" Basically saying, forget about George. Let's talk about Kimi. But we'll see. We got a fight here for the second half. Can, Lewis overcome a 50-point gap and Ferrari actually make good decisions on the pit wall and maybe really hit a couple upgrades and put the car back up where they expect it to be, and Lewis wins that record-breaking title? I mean, that's something that's definitely to be watched, because it's not completely ridiculous to overcome a 50-point gap, especially with the reliability issues that the Mercedes has had this season. So
all teams have had this season.
So we'll see. It's going to be a good second half. Some tracks coming up that are going to be interesting with this new power unit. So we'll see what we get. But it's been an interesting year so far. Some of the issues that we expected are there, but it has also given us some interesting racing and some fun racing for a little bits of the season here. So hopefully it continues.
Definitely been different once again, just like last year, just like the year before. I mean, we had 7 different winners, a couple years ago. Definitely spreading the love across the board. Lots of different drivers winning. Makes it exciting. Another tricolor podium once again. It's almost like every single week we got that tricolor podium where you have 3 different constructors up there.
Mm-hmm.
Almost every week. And that's been just exciting. Exciting to see. The dichotomy and the spreading out between the good teams and the bad teams is just probably more massive than I've seen in probably 6-8 years, it feels like. Where it's just massive gap between the top 5 teams and the bottom 5 teams now. And showed that a lot with Aston Martin this week. How, with all those upgrades, still couldn't get it done. But, again, makes for an interesting fall. Cheese, say what you got to say, brother.
I will see you guys for episode 200. It's going to be a minute till we get a race. It's going to be like a month. Just down to the end of August till we're at the Dutch Grand Prix for the final time for a while. So We'll see you guys soon. And as always, stay medicated, my friends.
Coming live from the US of A. Podcast Groove. The boys bring you the F1 news. Everything you need, so you know just what to do. And it's all alright, 'cause they do it right. In the paddock with Greeny and the cheese. In the paddock with Greeny and the cheese. In the paddock with Greeny and the cheese. Ferrari's gonna drive you crazy. Mad Max, he's so amazing. McLaren, Merc, and more. In the paddock with Greeny and the cheese. And they know their way around the track. When you need the facts, you can trust them. They won't steer you wrong. Always right on time. They know their way around a microphone. And it's all right, 'cause they do it right. In the paddock with Greeny and the cheese.